Ingrid has more potential to be a totally busted character in Street Fighter 6 than people currently realize. And no, I don't mean because she is an all-powerful cosmic goddess amongst men. Capcom has revealed Ingrid's official World Tour teaser trailer, and in it we got our first in-game glimpse at Season 3's fourth and final DLC character. Though we didn't get any gameplay this time around, we did get some small hints at what she might be able to do in the latest iteration of the long-running fighting game franchise. To learn more about Ingrid's future, we have to look to the past. And when I dug deeper into her moveset from older games, I realized that her attacks would not only be a great fit for Street Fighter 6, based on the game's mechanics and its current meta, but also how broken and scary they all could be. Saludos mi gente, greetings everyone, my name is Dream King and today, we are talking about that magical, weird little Katamari alien girl in Street Fighter 6, and whatever this thing is. But before we get into it, please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell if you dig my content. Your support helps out a ton and it is always very much appreciated. Now, let's get into the video. In the new teaser trailer, we see Ingrid's first encounter with Jonathan Street Fighter. Ingrid finds him in an alternate world that, for reasons unknown, only he inhabits, and they were able to meet thanks to the connection established by Ingrid's little alien critter, which she calls a monoid. Capcom shows off Ingrid's redesign in full force here, and it looks cool. I like the direction they've taken with her in this game, especially since her classic design is kinda plain. She gives off a very whimsical, magical, almost Disney-like vibe, and even the music used in the trailer sounds like it came straight from Kingdom Hearts. But her new look does fit that vibe pretty well. Like World Tour teasers before it, Ingrid's provides a brief look at the character's abilities, and these always have implications for how the character actually ends up playing in the game. We see her gracefully fly around and defy gravity, open a door to an alternate dimension, and even break reality as we and Johnny Street Fighter know it. She also calls the World Tour avatar a Terran, which is a word I was not familiar with before this trailer that apparently just means an inhabitant of Earth. To me, Ingrid kind of comes off as like this all-powerful, all-knowing being that has a deep understanding of humankind, but doesn't quite have it down when she tries to emulate it. Like an alien trying to replicate something man-made, and though it's close to being accurate, it's just slightly off. Her saying Bayonara feels like an attempt to be casual and relatable to humans, but it's not quite natural, and it's also just not a thing people say. But it's what an otherworldly being might think humans would say based on her watching and studying how they interact with each other, you know? And her appearance also adds to that concept in my opinion. She has giant eyes, her face looks a little uncanny, and even her costume feels like something she whipped together from things she's learned across different time periods of human history. To set up the main point of this video, let's start off by running a quick thought exercise. Forget about Ingrid and everything we just talked about just for a moment. Now imagine, in your mind's eye, a character in Street Fighter 6 with its current meta that has a counter move that they can combo after, an invincible reversal, a slide normal that can go under fireballs, a hop kick that low crushes, a horizontal forward moving special move that has good corner carry, ways to alter their jump trajectory, a slow moving multi-hitting projectile super, fireballs that stay active on screen longer than you would expect and create obstacles for the opponent to avoid, a level 3 super that can hit from full screen away, a traditional overhead normal, a way to pass through the opponent to the other side, and an air throw. Did you also picture a horrifying Frankenstein creation of several of Street Fighter 6's top tiers, or was that just me? What's funny is that I've heard people say that Ingrid's classic moveset is random and kinda boring, and for the era and within the context of older fighting games, I can understand why. But when I tried her out myself in both Capcom Fighting Evolution and Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper, I couldn't stop noticing how a lot of her attacks have elements that mirror some of the strongest moves in Street Fighter 6. And before y'all hit the comments, let me just outright say that I know and understand that Ingrid isn't going to have every single move from her past games in Street Fighter 6. Going even a step further, I also acknowledge that the strength of any given move is determined by how it's balanced, so even if one of her moves looks and behaves like one of Street Fighter 6's best moves, it would still need the right frame data and properties for it to be really good. All of that having been said, what's interesting about Ingrid's classic moveset is that many of her attacks, by nature, function a lot like strong attacks in Street Fighter 6. And Capcom has shown over the last 3 seasons of the game just how strong these kinds of moves can be. Let me show you what I mean. Let's start with her counter special move. Ingrid can perform a high or low counter that, when triggered, catches the opponent's limb and tosses them straight up into the air. As they're coming down, Ingrid can follow up for a juggle combo, or go right into a super for quick damage. There aren't many counter-type special moves in Street Fighter 6 right now, but one of the best moves in the entire game is JP's OD Amnesia. It's a counter that can stop both hits and throws, and when it lands, JP sends out 2 orbs that instantly pressure the opponent and allow him to get a full combo if he finds an opening while they're still on screen, or if he gets a throw right after. If Ingrid's counter was dropped straight into Street Fighter 6 as it is, you'd get the added hurdle of having to make the right read of high or low, but once it lands, she'd get a full juggle immediately after instead of having to find an opening like JP does. And OD special moves tend to have additional benefits to them due to their meter cost, so it wouldn't be unreasonable to imagine that the OD version of Ingrid's counter could do away with the directional read and make the counter catch any limb, high or low, and result in a full combo. If Capcom designed it at all like JP's Amnesia, Ingrid's counter could very quickly become a devastating tool in her kit, and it would give her stronger defense even while in burnout. Another common tool among top tiers is the invincible OD reversal. Having the threat of this option is huge in Street Fighter 6, and there is usually a stark difference in the strength of a character's defense between the haves and the have-nots. Ingrid has a straight-up flash kick in her classic move list. In fact, it even looks a lot like Mai's DP in Street Fighter 6. Make that an OD reversal, which is basically what that move is designed for anyway, and that's just another strong tool for the arsenal, and another step towards brokenness. Oh, and of course this move would also work as a strong anti-air option, again assuming the frame data is in line with stronger examples of these types of moves in the game. And speaking of anti-air DPs, how about a way to bait them out and make them whiff? When Ingrid does quarter circle back and light kick in the air, she performs a drill kick similar to Dhalsim's that immediately cuts her jump arc and sees her travel straight down from where she's at when she does the move. While Dhalsim's floaty jump makes baiting anti-airs like this a bit less viable, especially since he has other air movement options that can help him do that, giving a tool like this to a character who is smaller, more nimble, and has a more traditional jump arc could be wild. Hell, I just recently fought a Cammy player who kept making my Alex's anti-air knee whiff by using her dive kick, and I was standing at ranges where that anti-air option would normally work. Imagine a character who can completely bail on their jump and drop straight down to the ground to get a full punish on a whiff DP. One of Ingrid's main combo tools in past games is a horizontal, forward-moving special attack. It's a spinning kick that is very similar to Karin's EX spin kicks in Street Fighter V. While the corner carry this attack has in games like Capcom Fighting Evolution and Alpha 3 Upper is solid, the move's very nature lends itself to potentially being something more on the level of a Ken Heavy Tatsu or Mai's Cartwheel in Street Fighter 6. If Capcom gave this move enough blowback on hit, or made it travel decently far horizontally, it could be a killer corner carry attack and make for yet another top tier tool in her kit. Ingrid's fireballs might be the weirdest move she has on her move list. They have fairly slow startup, and depending on the strength of the button used, she throws them at different ranges and heights on screen. I think the main design concept behind them is that they remain active for a bit longer than you'd expect, and they're meant more as a tool to occupy space on screen and create obstacles for the opponent to try and avoid. Her fireballs could be handled a lot of different ways in Street Fighter 6, but I think the closest comparison we could draw is to Guile's Sonic Blade. Imagine her being able to put out what is essentially a stationary projectile that stays on screen for a couple of seconds, and allows her to set up a mix-up on wake-up or just control spots on screen that the opponent really wants to be in. I envision a threat that is similar to JP's portal spikes, especially if she could throw these projectiles to the height of a standard jump, like she can in past games, and if the OD version sees her recover faster or stays on screen for a longer duration, we could also be in drive rush in behind it territory as well, which we all know is a very powerful technique in Street Fighter 6. But what could make this type of fireball even scarier is a way for her to end up on the other side of the opponent without having to jump over them. Well, Ingrid happens to have a command roll in Alpha 3 Upper that sees her pass right through the opponent and end up on the other side of them. You know Blanca's surprise hop? Yeah, Ingrid basically has that. And we know how strong that can be, especially when coupled with a threat that remains on screen that the opponent is forced to respect. When it comes to normals and common moves, Ingrid is also well equipped. She has a hop kick with forward medium kick that can sail right over low attacks. If this normal were upgraded to being a heavy attack in Street Fighter 6, it could be along the lines of Chun-Li's forward heavy kick and have crumple properties on punish counter. But even if not, a quick, low-crushing medium hop kick would work nicely in neutral, and could help blow up crouching medium kick into drive rush attempts. In addition to this hop kick, Ingrid also has a traditional forward medium punch overhead normal. It isn't a flashy move by any means, but having a basic overhead normal means drive rush overhead into big combo in Street Fighter 6. Ingrid's down forward medium kick sees her perform a quick slide that travels decently far on screen. In past games, this slide doesn't travel under projectiles, but drawing a parallel to Street Fighter 6, we can look at Kimberly's slide, which is extremely similar. In Street Fighter 6, Kimberly's down forward medium kick slide travels far, is safe on block when spaced properly, can be converted into a full combo if it lands as a punish counter, and best of all, it passes right under projectiles. I feel like these types of normal attack slides more commonly have the ability to travel under fireballs in modern Street Fighter games, and if Ingrid's were brought back in Street Fighter 6, I'd be surprised if it didn't also have this same property. Some of the best top tiers in Street Fighter 6 have really good super attacks, and one that is easily in contention for being the best super in the entire game is Ed's level 2 Psycho Cannon. It's a slow-moving, multi-hitting projectile that can be used to set up some of Ed's best and hardest hitting combos, or he can toss it out from further away, or when the opponent is knocked down to follow behind it and set up devastating pressure and mix-ups. Well, one of Ingrid's supers is, you guessed it, a slow-moving, multi-hitting projectile super that she can follow in behind. Granted, this super only hits twice when it lands, and in these older games it's harder to follow in behind it and get significant offense, at least as far as I was able to find during my time with these games. But it's not hard to see how this super could easily be on par with Ed's, or at the very least, give her a powerful option to create some scary pressure and mix-up situations of her own. And lastly, Ingrid has a level 3 super that can hit at different ranges on screen, including basically full screen away. I wonder where I've seen that before. Again, I'll reiterate that the likelihood of Ingrid having every single move she had from previous games on her Street Fighter 6 move list is extremely low, but a lot of her main moves lend themselves to being potentially really good simply based on what they were designed to do. And even if she doesn't have all of that, Ingrid will undoubtedly have some all-new tricks at her disposal. Based on the quick glimpse we got of her during her teaser trailer, her new abilities could end up being just as scary. Her ability to open doors and travel to other dimensions screams teleport to me. I wonder if she might have a more intricate teleport that lets her travel to specific spots on screen, not only on the ground but also in the air. Maybe something like Psylocke's teleport in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Capcom put a big emphasis on Ingrid's ability to fly around and defy gravity in the new teaser trailer. This could be a sign that Ingrid will be Street Fighter 6's first flight character. Right now, the only character who can kind of fly is Dhalsim, but his is more of a short floating state where he's locked down at the height he performed the move at and can only move left and right during. Season 3's characters have all had more intricate gameplay designs that feel like they're pushing things further than the early characters did. Sagat has all kinds of weirdly specific combo routes and timings, Sea Viper has a super jump cancels and feints, and Alex has a stance with like 50 follow-ups to it. It feels like Capcom is more comfortable adding more extreme movement and combat options to the game now, so if we were going to see a full-on flight character added, it would make a lot of sense for it to happen now. Then we have her monoids, which could be a major part of her gameplay as well. In the context of Street Fighter 6, my mind goes to things like Kimberly's spray cans or Blanca's Blanka-John dolls first, but it could also be a scenario where she uses the monoids the way Menat uses her sphere in Street Fighter 5. Maybe she'll have the ability to send out a monoid to a position on screen, then call it back to hit the opponent from behind, or just use them for longer ranged attacks, a ranged command throw maybe. The possibilities really are endless. At this point in time, we really don't know what Ingrid's future in Street Fighter 6 holds. But based on what we know of the character from past games, and from what we've seen so far of her in the teaser trailer, this mysterious fighter has the potential to be absolutely bonkers in Street Fighter 6. Let's just hope that Capcom doesn't let her break reality and the game too much. So what do you think of Ingrid so far in Street Fighter 6? And what do you think her gameplay will be like? Hit the comments and let me know what's on your mind, and if you're still watching this far into the video, thank you so much. That's it for me, y'all. I'll catch you in the next one.